Hey guys, this is Andy McCann here in Woodstock, Georgia, coming to you from CrossFit Garage, here to answer your health and fitness questions, especially when you have a question about being 50 or older. That's my specialty. That's where I live right now. Anyway, the question here I got today comes from Laura, and she's from the USA. Thank you for letting us know what country you're from. And she says, if I could pick three, so I'm assuming she means I like Andy, not Jack, but if I could pick three movements to do for the rest of my life, what three would they be? And I only get those three. And then what three would you eliminate from the rest of your life? Okay, so this is, man, I could probably spend an hour. Actually, you know what? I'm probably going to do a whole nother podcast just on this question. So the short answer is going to be after 17 years of moving and doing CrossFit and other stuff, I have found that there is tremendous value in going below parallel in your squat, meaning your hip crease goes below the top of your knee correctly. Go Google that and see what you're supposed to do, or get on YouTube and look it up. There's huge value in that. There's also huge value in lifting something heavy. So it's going to be a combination of those. Here's the other thing I know. We want to create a hedge against sickness, but in doing so, we also want to not be taken out. If we're going to live a long time because we're going to be healthier and fitter and we're eating better and all that stuff, if you look at, I think it's like once you're in your 60s or something, if you fall and break a hip, you're like 30% more likely going to die that year. So there's some things we want to do to increase our balance and coordination and things like that too, right? Okay, so the movements, without further delay, the movements are going to be a thruster, and that is when you take a barbell or a dumbbell and you hold them at, say, your shoulders, and then you're going to go into a full squat, and then you're going to stand up and press all in one movement. So when you fully extend the stand, you're going to push your arms up in the air. I love the thruster. It accomplishes my two rules that I've come up with for the lip. Well, these are my rules right now for doing anything health and fitness. Show up. I mean, right? You got to show up. Don't do it. And then rule number 2 is don't do anything so stupid that'll prevent you from showing up tomorrow. So once you got rule 1 and 2 down, the next ones I'm sort of like fiddling with. I think it's going to be something like squat below parallel at least 3 times a week. So the thruster is going to accomplish that. Lift something heavy 3 times a week. This is going to accomplish that too. So you could do the thruster. You could do it for strength, where I am lifting something heavy. I'm just doing 1 rep. And for me, that's going to be something like 155 is going to be near the end of like, I don't know if I can really do this that well. I think my max in the heyday was maybe 190. So it's not a tremendously huge weight, but for me it is. I can do this weight for quite a while is maybe like 95 pounds. And then if I really want to throw it down and cause it to become sort of a cardio workout, I could probably put 65 pounds or just do the bar or something like that, right? So you can use this movement and make it something strength. You can make it something cardio, but I'm hitting both the principles that I've come up with over this time, which is squat below parallel and lift something heavy. The next thing that I would do, and I don't do these that often, and I'm going to actually, because of this question, I'm going to start doing them again. And that is to do not a farmer's carry where you got like 2 buckets in one hand or 2 kettlebells or 2 dumbbells, but rather a suitcase carry. A suitcase carry is basically, think of a farmer carrying 2 milk jugs, but now he only has 1, right? So this suitcase carry done correctly, so basically maintain good posture and then hold on to something heavy and bring it out from your leg about 1 inch. And then you're going to have to squeeze down with all these other weird mobilizing and stabilizing muscles that you don't typically use. And what this is going to do for you is help you fix any side imbalances, because you're going to do one side first and then the other side. And then it's also going to force you to have good posture. And you know, something that happens as people get older is their posture just gets crappy. Or it could be a kid on their phone or whatever, right? Or if you're sitting at a desk job all the time. So this does a lot of things for you. It's going to create a lot of core control, but it's also going to fix a lot of things, as well as when we were made and the joints were put together, the hip socket is great. The hinging of your elbow is great. And your knee is great. The shoulder is really stupid. It's like 2 bones sort of put together and then tendons like rubber bands just wrapped around. So this here will give us great shoulder stability, and I think everyone could utilize that throughout their life. All right, the last one is going to be running, because man, it's like the natural way to get from here to there. So if we didn't have cars, boats, and planes, we would all be walking or running or something. So I would really lean on this one. if I had to mix them up into some sort of like, I could only do those 3 and that's it forever, then I would mix the modalities up and let creativity be the limiting factor. So you could do things like, hey, a couplet or a triplet, take all 3 of these, put it together. I could come up with a workout that is a thruster with then a farmer's carry with then a run. I could do that. Or I could say, hey, it's a sprint day, or it's on the farmer's carry, it's a max heavy day, right? Or thruster, it's a heavy day, or it's a light day, right? So I could come up with combinations of these things, or it's just run and thruster. So I could probably create something like 30 or 40 workouts right now just using time domains. So like every minute on the minute, do this, or using weight domains, right? Couplets, triplets. So this could be incredibly varied, right? You got long distance runs, you got shuttle sprints. So I think you could take these 3 to the end. Okay, so the things I would never do again are a ring muscle up. That's just dumb. A pistol, which is a one-legged squat, and the GHD, the glute hand developer for sit-ups. I just detest those 3 movements. They cause more problems than they'll ever solve. You can look them up. I don't even want to give them airtime. You can look them up. If you've got health or fitness questions, I'm your guy. Just send a message to Jack. Say, here's a question for Andy. If you need something specific and you don't want to share it with the world, then send it to andy@crossfitgarage.com. You can find my podcast on any of the podcast delivery services. Look for CrossFit Garage. And you can find me on YouTube @AndyMcCann42. All right, y'all take care.